It's time for the Doug Garrison Show. This week, I get an update on the activities of the Marquette Beautification and Restoration Committee. Dave Bonsall is retiring from NMU after many years of service, and we get to talk to him. And the Vista Theatre has an upcoming production called Spamalot. We get a preview of that. It's all good. Stick around. The Doug Garrison Show starts now.
Tell the host 2 minutes. Stand by live to tape. Lighting to show level, please. Confirm front of house sound PFL. Roll tape on masters to all the places. Alright, let's clear the set. Cue John music, open stage mics, standby effects, standby CG, standby to open on 3, 2. Alright folks, let's have a good show. Stand by, roll it in.
Well, thanks for joining us here on Fox UP. We've got a good show for you tonight. Before we get into that, though, I want to touch base on a busy couple weeks that I've had. I was honored as part of the Doug Garrison Show to receive an award from the Marquette Arts and Culture Center. It's called the Outstanding Community Impact Award, and everyone here at the Doug Garrison Show appreciates that. We're proud to be a part of the arts community here. As much as we've maybe helped out some of our local artists and musicians, they've been just as important to us as being entertainment value for our show. We appreciate that. I also participated as a judge, thank God, in Dancing with the Stars. That was a great time, a good fundraiser for the UP Hospice Foundation. I wanted to mention that Jeremy Hansen and Alicia Frechette won that. We had them on the show a couple months ago. I think the two are connected. So if you remember Jeremy, he started out pretty rough, but by the time the show started there last Thursday night, he was a pretty good dancer. Also want to mention, I'm participating in the celebrity golf outing for Beacon House. You can help my participation. You can donate on my behalf. Please go to upbeaconhouse.org. Click on my celebrity link, and you can donate in my name. We're trying to raise money for Beacon House. The more money we raise, it's good for everybody. If you give over $25, you're automatically entered to win a round on the Heritage for that event. And the biggest donor for the Doug Garrison Show participation wins an appearance on the show. So you got that going for you. We've got a good show for you. Stick around. We'll be right back.
We believe success comes through more than just hard work and determination. It's about the belief that you get out of life whatever you put into it. This is why the Gilbert Dairy strives to provide you with the highest quality dairy products possible. And with 70 farms located throughout the Upper Peninsula, Gilbert is more than just a name, it's a lifestyle. So from our family to yours and throughout the communities of the Upper Peninsula, we'd like to thank you for your loyalty and support. Gilbert Dairy is helping the UP grow 1 gallon at a time.
We have many choices in life. Few are more important than those concerning your health. For surgery, my choice was simple. Bell Hospital. With complete surgical services close to home, their high-tech, high-touch hospital has renowned surgeons, the latest equipment, and an infection rate far below the national average. With a network of local specialists and post-surgery therapy services, Bell Hospital is the right choice for the surgery that matters most, yours.
Our spotlight on service is presented by the Marquette Community Federal Credit Union, where they are all about service to community, and we appreciate their support of this segment talking about service to community. And with me is Emily Lewis, president of the Marquette Beautification and Restoration Committee, certainly doing service to community. We appreciate that, Emily, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
And speaking of which, you guys are celebrating an anniversary this year.
Yes, we're celebrating our 35th anniversary this year.
Isn't that something? How long have you been with the organization?
About 20 years.
Yeah, it's been a great organization. Certainly has helped make Marquette the place to live and work and visit that it is. You guys deserve a lot of credit.
Thank you.
You know, I mean, starts with things like Petunia Pandemonium, which is coming up this weekend.
That's right.
Right? Tell us about it.
This weekend, it'll be our 25th year planting petunias coming into Marquette. It takes about 1 hour to plant.
That's it, huh?
And
wow.
We'll just be planting the west side of the street.
Mm-hmm.
We have school children come down on Friday that plant the east side of the street.
Oh, okay, good.
And at the end, there'll be a picnic lunch and complimentary ice cream cones at Beefaroo.
Yeah.
And we usually have a big picnic. We're going to have birthday cake this year. Be sure and bring a trowel, wear your old clothes.
So people can still jump in and volunteer then?
Oh, yes.
And so they should be where at what time?
10 a.m. on Saturday morning, this Saturday, June 1st. And just report to someone in the neon green vest.
Okay.
Those will be the plot captains, and they can instruct you on how to plant and where to plant.
And bring a trowel.
And bring a trowel with you.
Okay, and dirty clothes that you're willing to get dirty in.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Well, that's great, and it's nice that you have organizations already lined up to work on this too. It's been such a successful event. Barb Kelly's baby from 25 years ago, and what a welcoming sight for people coming into Marquette. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
It's not all you guys do. You also champion a lot of the pickup programs, the litter pickup in the spring.
Right, the spring cleanup, that's celebrated its 35th year this year. That was the first thing the committee started with. And that was, we coordinate all the groups in the city picking up all the common areas in the city.
And I appreciate that too, because when that snow melts, we find out what's been dumped out the windows for the last 4 or 5 months.
Yeah, it's amazing how many bags get picked up.
I'm sure of that. Well, we appreciate that. You've got some other events coming up. You've got your 6th annual garden extravaganza.
Yes, that will take place on June 15th at Northern Michigan University. It's from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. And you can still register. It's $50 to register ahead of time, or $60 on site. There'll be 7 seminars that day, including lunch. There'll be vendors. You don't have to be a master gardener to come. It's geared to anybody who's interested in gardening at all.
Yeah, and you've got your keynote speaker here.
Our keynote speaker is Jeff Epping, and he comes from the Orlick Gardens in Madison, Wisconsin.
Oh, great. Well, and I've heard about them because we've spent some time in Madison. So that'll be exciting for anybody wanting to do. And is this mostly decorative gardens as opposed to vegetable gardens, or is it a little bit of everything?
A little bit of everything. We're going to have a chef speak. We're having somebody do flower arranging. So it really is geared to anybody who's just interested in flowers or plants.
Yeah, and I think finally now that the weather has maybe started to break a little bit, people are getting a little more excited about that.
Right.
Now you've got an anniversary celebration coming up in July. Tell us about that.
Our anniversary celebration, we're going to coincide with, we're restoring the Father Marquette statue.
Which answers the question I was going to ask you, how you came up with the name Marquette Beautification and Restoration. You're restoring the Father Marquette statue. Okay.
Yes, we are. And we're in the process of getting the reliefs on the side of the statue repaired. And we have an artist from Venus Bronze Works out of Detroit, Giorgio Gekas, is doing the work. And he hopes to have it completed sometime mid-June. And you might wonder, why are we doing it? Not the city, it's not their statue. But we took possession of the statue for a year so that we could get it done and get it restored. So on July 15th, which is a Monday at 7 p.m., we've worked with many organizations in the city. We're going to have a great celebration and present the restored statue, and at the same time celebrate our 35th anniversary.
Yeah.
The evening's going to start out with the wooden canoes come in off the lake. We're going to have the city band ensemble performing, and then we'll have the presentation of the statue, and then we'll have our birthday celebration while a troupe from the Beacon on the Rock will be performing. So it'll be a great family event to come down for.
That will be a fun time. That's on July 15th. That'll be great. Are you also looking for people to join your committee? Are you looking for additional members and volunteers? Or?
Yeah, you can go to our website, which is www.mqtbeautification.org, and you can look at our list of calendar and events. You don't have to be a member to attend one of our meetings. And Barb Kelly, our vice president, she plans wonderful programs throughout the year of interest to just come, and you can join us for lunch at the Landmark Inn.
And people can check your website for your scheduled events. You got a lot of things going on. I printed off, but it's pages, so there's plenty of stuff happening. And it sounds like people can jump in and help wherever they want to. They don't necessarily have to be members, but if they want to go that far, they can do that too.
Right.
Well, we'll look forward to, first up, this Saturday, Petunia Pandemonium. 10 a.m., look for somebody in a bright green vest, and you can start planting some petunias.
That's correct.
All right, Emily, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Doug.
All right, you do so much for the community. We appreciate that. Okay, stick around. When we come back, we're going to talk to somebody that's got a job for one more day. Wouldn't that be nice? So don't go away.
So can anybody become a member at the Marquette Community Federal Credit Union? That's unbelievable. Can I get a home equity loan here?
You sure can, and a car loan too.
Can I refinance my mortgage here?
You bet, and we do car loans too.
You're kidding me.
No, it's true.
Hey, can I get a car loan here too? Thanks, Monty. That was easy.
Stop in and see Mickey or Loretta at our Marquette location or visit Dan at our Harvey location. Marquette Community Federal Credit Union, home of the same-day car loans.
Prepare yourself for a dimension of fun, a dimension of excitement. You are now entering the Art Cat Zone.
Get to the Crossroads and experience our huge selection of ATVs, snowmobiles, and utility vehicles. From our world-class service and parts to the latest Arctic wear and accessories, we have it all. Arcticat, share our passion, and get to the zone.
The Doug Garrison Show is brought to you in part by Iron Bay Computer and Design. Iron Bay gives you the quality and service you demand. And by Cliffs Natural Resources, a global mining leader with local investment and impact. Cliffs Natural Resources. And by Reflections Hair Salon, featuring professional stylists, a family-friendly atmosphere, and prices to suit your budget. For an appointment, call Reflections at 226-0175. Well, I don't usually do this. I don't usually have someone on just because they're retiring, but this is a special occasion. Dave Bonsall is with us. Dave, we've been friends for a long time, played softball together for many years, and now, tomorrow is your last day as director of the Center for Student Enrichment at Northern Michigan University. Congratulations.
Thank you.
How many years have you been in that office?
I have been in that office for 34,
34.
and I was a hall director for 3 before that.
Wow, you are a lifetime man at Northern. And now that office has gone through some changes. Wasn't it used to be student activities? Or?
We were student activities at one time, and we had about 130 student organizations, and we did a couple main events like Homecoming and Winterfest, and that was pretty much the year.
Yeah.
And then we became student activities and leadership programs.
Yeah.
When we added the Student Leader Fellowship Program and the Volunteer Center. And then in 2006, the Center for Student Enrichment, where we have Superior Edge, Health Promotion, Academic Service Learning, and whatever else.
You probably wouldn't take credit for those things, but somebody's going to give you credit for it, and I'll start here. All these things have happened under your watch, so I'm sure that you had a lot to do with that stuff. And you know, and you haven't been a teacher. You haven't been a faculty member at Northern, but I think you have been a teacher. I think you've probably had more impact on a lot of those kids than many of the professors there. Would you not agree with that?
Well, that's very kind of you
Well,
to say.
I think it's true. I mean, the idea, the name of your organization, the Center for Student Enrichment, I know so many people get so much more out of their college experience than what they learn in those classrooms.
I think a lot of students discover who they are as a person. They discover skills and abilities they never thought they had. And probably as much as anything, by participating in activities and programs, just developing self-confidence that I can do things.
Absolutely, and having some responsibilities with that. And we've had students on from the programs that are learning things that are going to serve them so well once they're out of college, not things that they necessarily learn in the classroom. You know, and watching you over the years, I think of you more as an observer, or a very good observer. I think you like to kind of tell people, here's what we want to get done here, and stand back and watch and let them do it. Would that be true? And let them learn and fail and learn some more on their own speed?
That's very true. The whole thing is set up that students get to try things out and learn by doing, getting hands-on experiences. And also, I've got to say, we've had an incredible staff that's worked there over the years that have made my job very easy.
Yeah. Anybody that you can look back at that has maybe served, you've been a mentor to so many, anybody that has been a mentor to you over the years that you've looked up to and kind of watched and learned from?
Well, probably the lady I'd have to give the most credit to with that is Karen Reese, who is a retired vice president for student affairs at Northern, that when I was a young person, fairly irresponsible, kind of took me under her wing, and I became an RA, and I worked orientation with her, and she was the one that hired me into student activities.
Yeah. So Karen
Which
Reese,
surprised me,
yeah,
but I was there.
Well, it worked out good. You've served under a number of presidents. Who was president when you took over?
John Jamrich was president when I started.
So it's been quite a long line of presidents.
Several of them.
You survived them all.
I have.
Yeah. And I'm sure that there are some that were maybe more your favorites than others, but we don't necessarily have to get into that. We don't have to do that.
That's probably better if we don't.
Yeah,
but I think one of the things that's really
You wouldn't do that anyway.
I wouldn't do that anyway.
No.
One of the things that's really evolved is I think all the presidents have really taken to teaching students not just about leadership, which we do a lot of, but about citizenship. Yeah. And we have great programs that get our students out into the Marquette community, their home communities.
They raked my yard. I told you. It doesn't get any better than that.
You can tell
it was a mistake, but they raked my yard.
You can tell we're raking a lot of yards when we get down to Doug Garrison's yard.
I'll tell you what, I appreciate it. That worked good. You know, obviously, you know, this job has been not a 9-to-5 job. This has been nights, weekends. I mean, it's kind of a 24/7 kind of thing.
It's a lot of evenings, a lot of weekends. That's when students can do things. Yeah. But it's never seemed like a job. It's just, I've enjoyed it thoroughly.
And you could see that watching you work. You know, your family has to be a big part of this too, because obviously when you have a job like that, your family, your kids, your boys and your daughter, and especially your wife Sandy, who's with you here tonight, they have to be a big part of that as well, because if they're not on board, it doesn't work, does it?
Well, Sandy has been a very understanding wife. Mm-hmm. Especially when we were raising our 3 kids. And we brought them to quite a few of the things that I was involved with, but still, she was left with them many times.
Yeah. Now, you used to work with a lot of the entertainers that came in, too.
We still do.
Yeah, you probably met a lot of people.
Oh, we've met great people.
Any good stories?
Bill Cosby was one of the really fun ones that was here. Mm-hmm. He had a young lady, a college student in the front row that just started asking who the guy she was with, and pretty soon she had her up on stage and her phone calling her parents to ask them what they thought of this guy. Saying, did you realize your daughter's with this person? And so that was really fun.
Bill Cosby can get away with that kind of stuff, probably.
He can. Yeah. He was pretty smooth.
Well, tomorrow's your last day, and I would imagine you'll be, feet up. No, I heard you talking about you still got a lot of work to do. Come on, man. Let's move on. Huh?
I've got a lot of stuff
to wrap up. It's their problem now. What's next now? You're too young, you're too vital and ambitious to just retire and go home and start a stamp collection. I know we've joked with you about public office. What's out there for Dave Bonsall?
A stamp collection. I never really thought of it. No, we have children in Detroit and Chicago, and we'll see them more, travel a little bit. And I'm looking for the right project things to get involved in. I've talked with a few people that we have encouraged. Rachel Harris, who's taking my spot, and myself to do a little consulting, and we might do that, and just things that come along.
Yeah, good. Well, I'm sure you're not just going to sit on your hands and not contribute. That's not your way. Your wife, Sandy, wouldn't let you do that either. So we'll look forward to what's next for Dave and kind of keep an eye on that. I'm sure you're going to be a very good contributing member of society from here on out. For those of you who couldn't be with us tonight, who would like to wish Dave well in his retirement, tomorrow night at the Ordoc, starting at around 5 o'clock, Dave's going to be there. Come on down, have one of the craft brews from the Ordoc, and share some old stories with Dave. And you've probably influenced and certainly run across so many different thousands of young people over the years that I'm sure someone would like to come and say, thanks for impacting my life.
I would agree, and we're doing an office reunion at the end of June, and just when you start hearing from these people back and what they're doing, it's so much fun when you hear about them later, and every time you see one, you think of the stories, the things they were involved in, and their families now, their careers, and it really makes it rewarding.
I think you agree, the relationships you make in college are some of the best you'll ever have, and you've been right in there with the relationships that have both been professional and social as well, so some real deep-seated friendships there. So
very much so.
Good. Yeah. Dave, congratulations, you've been a great asset to Northern and the community. Good luck on your retirement, and we'll see you tomorrow night at the Ordoc.
Sounds good.
All right, okay, stick around. When we come back, we've got a Spamalot preview, so don't go away.
Is your bathroom beginning to look a little old, a little tired, a little behind the times? Don't despair. The design professionals at SWIC Home Services can help with beautiful new sinks, tubs, showers, and fixtures that are functional, durable, and graceful, while creating a design that gets the most out of your available space. The folks at SWIC can create a whole new bathroom, sometimes where you didn't even think one was possible.
Enjoy the golfing experience of a lifetime every day at Marquette Golf Club. Our two 18-hole championship courses offer everything from relaxing family fun to competitive golf as challenging as that found anywhere in the world. Our custom rate structure allows you to choose a membership package that accommodates your schedule and budget. And we offer reasonable daily fees, always available to the occasional player. In this day of green sensibilities, there's nothing more green than a day on the links at Marquette Golf Club.
Okay, with me now is Alfred Kiefer from the Vista Theatre, the director of the Vista Theatre. How long have you been there?
I've been the executive director for about 20 years now.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. And that place, you still got it going strong there.
40-year history.
Very active, too.
We do about 10 productions a year.
Yeah. Now, you manage the theater. You also direct many of the productions, but not all of them,
No.
right?
No.
Okay.
We involve a lot of different people from the community, either through directing or through choreography, music, dance. So some people are the same, and then we add new people.
Sure. It takes a lot of people to put any one production on.
Sure.
So many people behind the scenes as well.
If you got 20 actors on stage, you got probably about 20 people behind stage working some way or another.
Yeah. You know, I like to think that we have a very artistic community here, and that being Marquette County. I'm sure you are able to take advantage of that in the theater.
Well, I think it's grown more over the last 10 years than it's ever been. You know, so there's a lot of great programs going at the high school.
Yeah.
You got all kinds of wonderful theater groups going in Marquette. And so we get some benefits of kind of exchanging those actors back and forth, or technicians and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's been, and especially for the high school kids growing up and getting some good foundation in theater, music, and dance, it helps us a lot.
Sure, it works for everybody. Now you've got a production coming up. It's Monty Python's Spamalot.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Well, it's been on Broadway. It was the 2005 Tony Award winning show, and it just became available for non-production professional groups. And so we're one of the first groups in the country to grab the hold of the rights, and we're really excited about putting on theater. Yeah. We try doing a variety down there, so we'll do the classic shows, like we have West Side Story coming up afterwards, but we always love to look at those new shows and which ones are popular, try to bring them down to theater as soon as we can.
Sure, and this is a musical?
Big musical.
Yeah.
How
many people in this cast?
About 25 in the cast.
Yeah. Okay. You mentioned you like to do different things. You're doing West Side Story. What else can people expect to see from the theater this upcoming season?
Well, we just got done with the Mystery Dinner Theater, and then we have West Side Story coming up after Spamalot.
Which is one of my all-time favorites.
Yes, and then we have our traditional Rocky Horror.
Of course.
And then we have Scrooge coming up, and we do other events like we've done like tea socials and art in the garden. And so we got a vaudeville group coming in, some musical groups.
Yeah. Fundraising, always a challenge
always
with
a
local
challenge.
Theater. Yeah. Any events coming up that are specifically targeted at fundraising, or is that just all through the productions?
Our big next stage on the renovation is we're looking at bringing in movie equipment to the theater, because the theater was opened in 1920, and it was originally a vaudeville/movie theater. And so we've been doing really good with plays over the years, but we want to bring back that original, what it was, its purpose.
Sure.
And so we're hoping to fundraise for film equipment and have it open year-round so we can show some movies.
That'd be cool. I know Lon Markham, I think, did a nice documentary on the theater for
Yes.
Charter Broadcasting. That was very good, too. We do have a sample from Spamalot. Tell us what we're going to hear here.
Well, we have our diva Laura, who plays the Lady of the Lake, and she helps Arthur on his quest for the Holy Grail, and this is one of the songs for that.
Okay, so stick around. When we come back, we're going to hear Laura Nagel singing a tune from Spamalot.
If you think you had a rough winter, look at your car. That baby could use some love. Or you could let Riverside of Marquette give you a more than fair price for it and drive away in a new Camry for $199 a month. Yeah, we know. That's less than you're paying now. If not, Toyota Corolla surely is at $149 a month. Or a brand new Nissan Versa for just $12,780. We have all-wheel drive Nissan Rogues for just $21,621. Renew yourself and your ride at Riverside of Marquette.
You might not find bones all that interesting, but the specialists at Advanced Center for Orthopedics in Marquette are fascinated by bones, all 206 of them. If you're suffering from an orthopedic condition or injury, our team of specialists can quickly diagnose and treat the problem. Providing a broad spectrum of services all under one roof creates an enhanced continuity of care for our patients. Advanced orthopedic care every minute of every day. At Advanced Center for Orthopedics, we specialize in you.
Okay, I'm here with Laura Nagel, one of the stars of Monty Python's Spamalot. Do you appear in many shows at the Vista?
This is my first show at the Vista.
Yeah. And what's your background in singing?
I've been singing my whole life, and just recently did an MU Legally Blonde production.
Yeah, I
and
heard great things about that.
yeah, it was a hoot. It was a ton of fun.
Yeah, and this one looks like it's going to be fun too.
This one is already a blast.
Yeah, and you play who?
I'm the Lady of the Lake.
Lady of the Lake, okay. And this is Spamalot. It's going to be at the Vista Theatre next Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, the 6th, 7th, and 8th. And then the following Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, 13th, 14th, and 15th. Correct. So Monty Python Spamalot. Here with something from that is Laura Nagel.
Thank you, Doug.
If you trust in your soul, keep your eyes on the goal, then the prize you won't fail. Find your grail, that's your grail. So be strong, keep right on till the end of your song. Do not fail, find your grail, that's your grail. Life is really up to you, you must choose what to pursue. Oh, yeah. Set your mind on what to find, and there's nothing you can't do. So keep right till the end. You'll find your goal, my friend. You won't fail. Find your grail. Find your grail. That's your grail. Find your grail. Find your grail.
Time to replace that thing you just keep repairing, that just keeps coming back to haunt you? Then it's time to call your local Lennox dealer. They can replace your old, outdated furnace or air conditioner with a high-efficiency Lennox system that can save you money. Hudson Mechanical can tell you if it's time to put repair costs towards a new system. Call a name you can trust, Hudson Mechanical.
Togo's, Marquette's original submarine sandwich.
Well, that's our show for tonight. In summary, Petunia Pandemonium this Saturday, sponsored by the Marquette Beautification and Restoration Committee. That's planting petunias in South Marquette. 10 o'clock Saturday morning. Show up ready to do some digging. Dave Bonsall retirement celebration tomorrow, 5 o'clock at the Ordoc. And next Thursday, the opening of Monty Python's Spamalot at the Vista Theatre. And of course, the Doug Garrison Show right here, same time, same place next week. We'll see you then.